Hi, in this video we're looking at fractional and negative indices. Do check out my previous videos on basic indices and index rules, also with examples. If you find this video helpful, please support me by clicking the subscribe button. Feel free to comment below for any questions or any other topics so that I could make more videos you would benefit from. Let's get started. Index rules, let's have a recap first. A to the power m times a to the power n equals a to the power m plus n. A to the power m divided by a to the power n equivalent to a to the power m over a to the power n equals a to the power m minus n. A to the power m to the power n equals a to the power m times n. Then we have a to the power 0 equals 1. So any number to the power 0 equals 1. Do check out my previous video on basic indices and index rules. I will put a link at the end of the video. Then we have a negative indice. So a to the power negative n, the minus sign will give you the reciprocal, which is 1 over. So a to the power minus n equals 1 over a to the power n. Then we have fractional indices. Square root of a is the same as a to the power half or a to the power 0.5. Cube root of a equals a to the power a third. Also we have ab to the power m equals a to the power m times b to the power m. Similarly for division, a over b to the power m equals a to the power m over b to the power m. Let's concentrate on the negative indice and the fractional indice. A to the power 0 equals 1. Anything to the power 0 equals 1 as long as the base does equals 0. Then again, a to the power minus n equals 1 over a to the power n, so the minus sign becomes 1 over. Square root a equals a to the power half, same as a to the power 0.5. Cube root of a equals a to the power a third. To generalize the term, the nth root of a equals a to the power 1 over n. Then what we could do is if we power that root, we would have a to the power 1 over n to the power m. This rule you can time the two numbers, so 1 over n times m give me m over n. Therefore we have a to the power m over m. So this is root the a first, then power it. You can do it the other way round. You can power a first and then root it after. So if I power a first, I will have a to the power m, then to the nth root. So again, m times 1 over n equals m over n, so a to the power m over m. So the numerator m will always be the power, and the denominator of n will always be the root. Okay, I repeat. Numerator m will always be the power, denominator n will always be the root. Let's look at some examples. 3 to the power negative 1. Get rid of the negative sign by using 1 over, then you have 3 to the power 1. So my final answer is 3 to the power negative 1 equals 1 over 3. If you want to use the flipping method, 3 is equivalent to 3 over 1. 3 to the power minus 1 equals 3 over 1 to the power minus 1. Then the negative sign indicates a flipping or the reciprocal. So 3 over 1 becomes 1 over 3, then the negative sign has done its job. 1 over 3 to the power 1 is itself equals 1 over 3. If we have a fraction, 4 over 5 to the power negative 1, again, the negative sign flipped the fraction as the reciprocal. So 4 over 5 becomes 5 over 4, and the negative sign did its job. To the power 1 is itself. Therefore, the final answer is 5 over 4. So those are the negative indices. Then we look at root. 100 to the power half equals square root of 100, which give you 10, because 10 times 10 give you 100. So the reverse process of that is your square root. So your answer is 10. Similarly, we have 81 to the power half equals square root of 81 equals 9. 36 to the power half, 0.5 equals square root of 36 equals 6. 64 to the power negative half, so the negative half came from two parts, negative 1 times half. Then 64 to the power negative 1 give us 1 over 64. Then to the power half, we need to square root 1 over 64, therefore we have 1 over 8. Then you might ask, what if I flip the order? Not so worry, we can do exactly the same. So you have 64 to the power half, which give you square root of 64. Then to the power negative 1, you get exactly the same answer. Square root 64 equals 8. 8 to the power negative 1 give you 1 over 8. So same answer as we had previously. Now we look at cube root. 8 to the power third equals cube root of 8 equals 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 give you 8. So my answer is 2. Similarly, 125 to the power third equals cube root of 125, which give you 5. So 5 times 5 times 5 give you 125. Lastly, 27 to the power a third equals cube root of 27 equals 3. 3 times 3 times 3 give you 27. So my answer is 3. Then let's look at our negative fractional indices. 64 to the power negative 1/3. Treat them separately. Negative 1, then to the power a third. 64 to the power negative 1 give us 1 over 64. Then 1 over 64 to the power 1 over 3 give us the cube root of 1 over 64 equals 1 over 4, because 4 times 4 times 4 give us 64. 4 to the power 3 is 64. So my final answer is 1 over 4. Again, if I swap the order, if I do the cube root first, which gives us cube root of 64, then to the power negative 1, we will have the same answer. Cube root of 64 equals 4. 4 to the power negative 1 equals 1 over 4. Same answer as we did above. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. This one is what I did earlier. Remember I said the numerator is always the power, the denominator is always the root. So now we have 8 to the power 2, then we have a cube root. So 2 goes in as the power, 3 goes out as the cube root. 8 squared equals 64. Cube root of 64 equals 4. Next question, we have 125 to the power 2 over 3. Okay, again, this one, because 125 is a biggish number, so I'm gonna root it first to make this number smaller. Otherwise, 125 squared will be a very large number. Cube root of 125 equals 5. Then to the power 2, we have a 5 to the power 2 equals 25. So this is a little strategy there. So you can see, depending on the number you were given, you can have a different method of working out solutions. If your base value is a smallish number, it's manageable, then you can do the power first. If your base number is a big number, you can root it first to make the number smaller, then square it. Okay, next we have 8 to the power negative 2 over 3. Again, look at the negative and the 2 over 3 separately. So I have 8 to the power 2 over 3, then to the power negative 1. 3 is a denominator, so that's my root. So cube root of 8. 2 is a numerator, will be my power. Cube root of 8 give us 2. 2 to the power 2 give us 4. And then we perform the power negative 1 at the end, which give us 1 over 4. If you find that confusing, what you could do is, instead of writing a long equation as I did, you can pick up certain elements. So you can calculate 8 to the power 2 over 3 first, like so. Cube root of 8, then squared equals 2 to the power 2 equals 4. And then you put the 4 back in here to do your power negative 1, which will give you 1 over 4. So same principle, just a different layout. Okay, here we have a combination of numbers and letter. 8x to the power 6 to the power 2 over 3. So the power 6 only apply to x. We can look at the fractional index separately, i.e. look at the numerator and denominator separately. So if I do the denominator first, my denominator is a 3. Denominator indicate the root. So that means I need to cube root the number within the brackets. So I have cube root of 8x to the power 6. Again, you need to treat them separately. Cube root of 8 will give us 2. Then cube root of x to the power 6 will give us x to the power 6 over 3, which is x to the power 2. That means to perform the root operation, I've got 2x to the power 2. Then we can look at the power 2 on the top. That indicates the power. So my answer from the line above, 2x to the power 2, need to be squared. Again, when you square a bracket, every single term in the brackets need to be squared. 2 squared give us 4, x squared, then squared give us x to the power 4, coming from 2 times 2. Another one slightly similar, 9 over 4 to the power negative 3 over 2. So you've got a fraction and you've got a negative sign. Again, we can treat them separately. Let's get rid of the negative sign first. So 9 over 4 to the power negative 3 over 2. To get rid of the negative sign, you need to flip your fraction. So now I have 4 over 9 to the power 3 over 2. And then I'm going to treat my denominator again as a root to make my number smaller. Square root of 4 give us 2, then square root of 9 give us 3. So now my index has 3 left, and 3 was the numerator, so that's a power. 2 over 3 to the power 3 equals 8 over 27, because 2 to the power 3 gives 8, 3 to the power 3 gives us 27. So my final answer is 8 over 27. Okay, here are all the examples linked to negative and fractional indices. Hope you have learned something today. If this video helped you in any way, please give me a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Comment with questions or topics that I might be able to help you with in future videos. As mentioned earlier, do check out my previous videos on basic indices and index rules, also with examples. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.